guys, this is our podcast. We have thoughts. I'm Marisa at Marisa Rothman,
I'm Danielle at Danielle TBD.
and we're going to be highlighting some mid-season shows. And it's a little bit different this year than last year because last year the networks were much better at making pilots available to us at this point. This year they're being a little stingy, which could be terrible, or it could be just
I always
because
take it
they're
as
lazy.
a bad sign. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
It's one thing if they're just recutting something and they take down the original version that they sold and they say we'll send you a new one for review. It's another if you've seen nothing from a show they sold in May because they're still working on it.
Yeah, I'll say we are, as we're filming this now, a couple days away from TCA, and the fact that we have not seen multiple shows that are paneling, not a good sign. Or it's going to make at least our lives more interesting. So we're going to talk about what we've seen so far. And we're going to start off with ABC.
Yep, we'll go alphabetically by network.
Let's see if we can remember these networks. So, as of today, the only pilot for mid-season up is Kill a Woman. I like the cast. I really like Trisha. I like Mark, and I like, holy crap, Michael. I'm like, why am I thinking these characters' names in my head? That would have been very bad. I like all three of them. I've enjoyed their previous work. The show is a show. That's basically.
It's a great review, Marissa.
I mean, it's. Out of the two of us, I think I like procedurals a lot more than you do.
Yes, you do.
And there's nothing offensively terrible about this show. It's better than other shows.
I mean, it has. So the thing is that I don't want to cut you off, but I will say I thought it had a lot of potential.
Okay.
No, wait, I'm not done. I thought it had a lot of potential when I heard what it was
Okay.
and when I read the script because it is that, strong women type of ensemble that should make me excited.
Right.
Except,
Exactly.
first of all, it's a terrible title because it's one woman. She's one woman in a world of men. So, whatever. And then when you actually got into the execution, I just found it. It's relying more on the flirtation and the chemistry between the men and the women, and it felt, like a lot of things that ABC has on as your primetime soap opera, that I watch because I'm invested in some of them and I like some of the characters. I don't necessarily want to see that again here. So I would not have. I did not choose that one. Originally, when we did this podcast, we were going to talk about like the shows that we excited us the most.
Yeah.
And Marissa picked Killer Women because it's the only thing she's seen.
Thank you, ABC. I would really there's a couple of mid-season shows that I'd actually really like to see, but since they don't have them available, I can only talk about the one that you kept up, the one that's
Which is not a great sign for them because you didn't like it.
Nope.
So it didn't really help them.
No, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it'll be. I've said this to you before, and I've said this to you before. I think if you can't grab me with your first case of the week when you're a pilot for a procedural, you've done something wrong because you have how many years or how many months or how much time to get the
Something
first
really
case done. Every single pilot that I've liked for procedurals has an interesting first case. They might blow it in week 2, but at least you have to start off interesting.
I do feel like it's an afterthought for them.
Yeah.
I think they're focusing more
The soapy
on
elements,
the
absolutely.
soapy stuff, which that's their choice, but I don't want to watch that.
Right. There's so many other really great, well-done character shows or character-driven procedurals on this day and age.
On this network.
On this network, on other networks, all around, and it's 2014. You kind of have to. I understand you have to make yourself distinguishable, and you have to kind of change things up, but it just. Maybe I'll watch episode 2.
You will. Let's be honest. You give everything more chances.
I only watched one episode of Lucky 7.
Okay, even I watched more of Lucky 7.
It took me like 4 times to get through the pilot. So
I will say though that I wanted to talk about Resurrection, which they gave us and then they took down, and they're going to put up a review version. I don't know if it's going to be very different from the version that they showed us, so I'm not really reviewing it here necessarily, but I will say that what I saw, I read the script anyway, so what I know of the show that they sold, I really liked. I read the book and I liked the book, but I felt like they focused too much in the book on one particular family and what it was doing to them, and less on the impact of the wider picture of what it means and where these people are coming from, why now, and all of that. obviously the pilot of Resurrection is very focused too on this first family that the person returns because it's so jarring. But Sundance Channel just recently had returned the French, basically version of the same show when you really think about it, and theirs was so amazingly well done and intriguing, but like thoughtful and really pretty and really well acted, even with all of its French subtitles, which I thought was going to drive me nuts. That now I'm really excited for Resurrection because I'm kind of comparing it to the returns, and I want to see, you have different standards when you're on a major network like ABC. Can you live up to those standards, and can you live up to what this show has done and our expectations basically now, because there are so many properties with the same basic story. The fact that they picked up Resurrection to series or to pilot before the book was even premiered, debuted. Jesus, I use the same words no matter what medium.
I know what you mean.
There's a lot riding on it, and I think it's, so far what I saw was really well done. But I want to know the big picture stuff, and I hope that they start to get into that soon, because that's the stuff that, like, you'll ask. Like, if that actually happened, if someone showed up years later on your doorstep, you would ask, like, who, like, is this real? Where did this come from? Are you even human? Like, these are things that need to be explored in the show. It can't just be the emotional, oh my God, I'm so glad my dead relative is returned. If they ignore all of the other stuff, I'm gonna be super annoyed. But the fact that Omar Epps' character is an actual law enforcement guy makes me think, no, they're going to get into the big stuff soon. So I'm excited for Resurrection. I know it might be a little unfair since they didn't, give it to us, give us the new version. But I think when you watch it, you might like it.
No, I mean, and that's one of the ones that I was most excited about, but they keep pulling it down. So what can I tell you, ABC?